Yeah. Oops. Woohoo. Here you go. Woo.
Hey.
Here you go. Now, yeah, am I crooked? Maybe. Canadian
You're
wine
fine.
lovers.
You're fine.
Carl's Wine Club members. Hello, good evening. Impromptu live tasting just because I felt like it. That's it. There's no other reason. Because I had amazing wine sitting here and I wanted to share with you tonight. So I know it's not Wednesday wine happy hour. It's nothing else but Carl's wanted to taste wine live. So Mira's like, why would you do that? Because I want to. So
I was totally supportive. Anything when you open a bunch of good wine and we chat with people, that's fantastic. So we have it open. We might as well.
Well, and you know, even if it's not open, you know, it's pretty easy to open. So boom, here we are.
I'll let you get to it.
Yeah, 6 o'clock Pacific. So to all of our friends in Victoria, everyone in BC, my new neighbors here in West Kelowna, to the people across the valley, all neighbors in Calgary, everywhere in Alberta, now 7 o'clock, 9 o'clock, all the way to the Eastern time zone. So our friends in Toronto and Quebec, 9 o'clock out there. So hope everyone is rested after a good long weekend. Everyone had good weather. Maybe yes, maybe no. Here, we had some pretty good 24, 25 degrees. We did lots of work on the yard. A lot of work on the yard. So yeah, we're getting settled here. So enjoying more and more our new home by the lake. I'm enjoying more and more sneaking by a winery just to go pick up something, drop off something, and instead of using courier or like, you know, all of that fun stuff. Want to see a winemaker? Text him, swing by, taste a few things. You're like, wow, that's the life. So this week we are featuring one of my favorite person in the wine business, one of the best brand when it's time for Pinot Noir and Chardonnays. And I think that you guys know my passion for Chardonnays, but now we're talking premium. We're talking top-notch single vineyard stuff. Someone sent me an email, replied to one of our posts on social media today. One of probably the best. What's some of the closest from good Burgundian wines? So from good Burgundy Pinots and Chard. Meyer Vineyard, Meyer family vineyard, and the sister company. I won't call it the little brother because I don't think it's fair to call it little brother, but the second brand of Meyer family vineyard, Mayhem wines, where they produce different stuff, fun, cool little wines, and also one of the a reserve Merlot from Anarchist Mountain down in the Soyuz. But we're going to talk about Anarchist Mountain tomorrow for a happy Wednesday wine happy hour. Donc un beau bonjour à tout le monde en français. Et je voulais dire un bon mardi à tout le monde. Non, c'est pas notre happy hour du mercredi, très différent. J'avais juste le goût de goûter une coupe de bouteilles qu'on avait de notre feature de la semaine, de notre coffret de dégustation. Et puis, tant qu'à faire ça, à table chez nous, à écrire mes notes, j'ai dit, tiens, pourquoi pas aller live? Pourquoi pas partager qu'est-ce que je pense de nos belles bouteilles de Meyer avec nos membres, avec les amateurs de vin. Désolé pour ma main, j'essaie d'arranger l'angle de la caméra. Et voilà. Donc, pourquoi pas partager avec les amateurs de vin canadiens qu'est-ce que je suis en train de goûter. Donc, ce soir, impromptu, sans avis, j'ai 2 bouteilles d'ouvertes. On va vous montrer ça. J'ai le 2018 Merlot de Mayhem, la winery qui est propriété de la sœur à Jack Meyer. Donc, Meyer, Mayhem, c'est frère et sœur, projet de frère et sœur. Jack, lui, propriétaire de Meyer Family Vineyard. Donc, qu'est-ce que... Aussi, la deuxième bouteille que je vais avoir, le Pinot Noir Micro Cuvee 2019. Ça vient juste de sortir. Une nouvelle sortie. Les nouvelles cuvées de 2019 pour Meyer, qui viennent de sortir 300 caisses de fait de la Micro Cuvée. C'est les meilleurs barils, des meilleures sélections parcellaires du programme. Ceci, ça vient d'un single vineyard, donc d'une sélection parcellaire qui est 100% de McLean Road Creek à Okanagan Falls. So, now, Mayhem, super cool little brand, the sister company of Meyer. So, Terry, who's Jack's sister, started Mayhem a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It was in the making, and now they've been making some tremendous wine. They take a little bit of the grapes right at the home vineyard in Okanagan Falls. By the way, we stopped there a couple times in the last week. This is so beautiful what they have out there. It is absolutely spectacular. There you go. Thanks, Mira, for showing the picture of the winery. But if you the other side from where the picture was taken, facing, like if you flip the let's take the camera from behind and you'll face a cliff. This is the Okanagan Fall, the rock. It's, I don't know, it's probably like 300 or 400 feet, a big cliff, a sharp edge cliff from and everything, like the vineyard is right at this base. It's spectacular. I love that place. There's a cachet like nowhere else in the country. Rocks, and that also gives the McLean Road vineyard is minerality aspect that it's very, very unique. Everything you taste from that specific vineyard, I experienced it all weekend. To deliver a package of wine. Sorry, courier company tries to reach me at the same time. That's the beauty of life. I'm on my phone. There's a couple of cable that we cannot figure it out at the new house, and something went wrong. So anyway, not set up completely. So I use the phone for life. And
you look better on your phone, hey? Like,
do I?
The image is way better. Like, look at mine. Of course, the lighting's terrible behind me, but yeah, you sound and look great on your phone.
That sounds good. So tonight, before bed, let's talk on the phone. So, how about you tell people, Mira, what you experienced yesterday when we drove from West Kelowna all the way down to Okanagan Falls, and when you opened the door of the car and you walked out, and you're like, oh my God, isn't it special down there?
It's spectacular. I mean, you visit OK Falls, you drive through there, and that's a beautiful spot right near the lake, right? This is the only picture I have of the winery, and it doesn't do it justice. I mean, you can see the winemakers here in the vineyard. And I think the key is the personality of the winery comes through from the founders. And that's Jack Meyer and his wife there, and Terry Meyer Stone is his sister. And it's like their personality really shines through what they do there. Like, you can tell it's very well maintained, it's taken care of.
Oh.
And it's a beautiful, beautiful spot that I can tell, pre-COVID, probably hosted a lot of really fun get-togethers. There's some nice fire pit area there, and there's a lot of different spaces that you can tell were meant for entertaining, maybe weddings or just larger events. It's fantastic. So you can tell it's a family affair, and it's run by a family that just loves life, like joie de vivre.
Like you mentioned, the personality, right? They are outgoing. They're full of energy. They're fun. They don't take themselves seriously. They are like just enjoying what they're doing at the highest level. And when you sit down with these people, it feels like it. You know, and you walk the vineyard and you feel like it's a fun atmosphere around that. Correct?
It's something worth mentioning because, you know, there are some wineries you go up, not many that we've featured, but you go up and you're like, this winery has no personality. And it kind of shows up in the wine too. The wine doesn't have a lot of personality. It's like the owners haven't put an emphasis on, you know, how do we connect with people through the space? And then that shows up in the wine too. The wine is maybe not as memorable, right? So in this case, it was super memorable and a really beautiful spot that they've taken a lot of care to make it a space that is inviting and is fun. And that's kind of like the wines, I think. So tell us about the wines, Carl.
I'm going to start with the Mayhem, the Merlot Cabernet, the Merlot Cab Franc. And I will let you prepare, Mira, because you're on the computer. And if you want to pull my tasting notes from the flyers that Sunday morning, remember when you, Saturday morning when you woke up at 7 a.m. and I had all of these Pinots and these Chardonnays open. So I was doing these tasting notes. So I wrote these tasting notes. If you can pull the Pinot Noir 2019 Micro Cuvee, and I will let you read it. Because I would like you to read it to what I came up with on Saturday morning, and I will comment on it. But let's first start with Meyer and with Mayhem Merlot Cabernet Franc 85-15. That's pretty much like that proportion here. A little bit more right bank Bordeaux style. There's a great earthiness in that wine. There's also plum. There's also a beautiful texture of that wine. This is a, let's say, medium level type of wine. To me, this is a beautiful everyday drinking, so well suited for barbecue. I get a little bit of smoke, a little bit of smokiness in there, a little bit of dark chocolate in the middle will bring some bitterness, but there's an oak profile also to bring a little bit of vanilla, and a really nice, well progressing from start to finish. The build up is pretty good from the start. It starts a little bit mellow and building up until like fading down at the end. So I really like the progression here, the curve of that wine. There's nothing overly fruity on the nose. I can still feel like some maybe dark cherry, maybe a little bit of sour cherry on the nose. No, maybe not the sour cherry. I would say more the dark cherry. Maybe a raspberry on the nose as well. A little bit of tea leaves also on the nose. So there is, it's not a sweet fruit that we get in there. It's a little bit more. I was expecting at the beginning, tasting Mayhem, I was expecting probably to get some really modern type of wine, something super fruity, easy drinking. I don't get that. I'm getting a little bit more of an old world profile here. I'm getting some earthiness. I'm getting some bitterness. Not a bad bitterness though. It's a little bit more like there's that plum, but there's also the cherry pit in the middle. So, but because the oak is very well integrated, just come at the same moment to bring a little bit of vanilla. So Yeah, it's very well made. It's an everyday drinking wine where you don't break the bank. I would say you're at around the $22. If I can get closer here.
25.
Okay, see, okay,
That's it.
25.
That's including tax and deposits. So you're
Okay,
pretty much
so
bang on.
I'm bang on at 22, right? So 25 all in. It's a very enjoyable, but something that you don't always get from a $22, it's complexity. And here, it's easy drinking because it's not overpowering. It's not something powerful. It's more in a medium body. But there's a nice complexity here. After the bitterness, dark chocolate, I'm feeling a little bit of the tannin are soft, very silky. There's a beautiful texture on that wine, and there's a little bit of smokiness as well. Made it. There's something about yeah. Is it the dark chocolate type of bitterness mixed with the cherry pit, but it's nothing on the fruit bomb. It's something very pleasant, a little bit of old world in there. So
Yeah, a little zing at the end there too.
isn't it?
I'm super impressed with it, personally. I just said on the Mira scale, Alexandra Henry Bergava there is saying for the price, he loved the previous vintage of this wine and agrees with what you're saying. Yeah, I think for the price, this is pretty spectacular. I think it's great as a wine, but when you look at the price, you're like, oh, wow, that's great.
You know, because I'm suspecting here that most of the fruit coming from Anarchist Mountain down in the Soyuz, really warm spot, like one of the warmest spot in the country in the middle of the desert. And this is not that, like, again, it's not the fruit bomb. It's not. So I'm curious when they pick. They probably went to pick earlier than we're expecting here. So we're in a 2018 vintage. Still, this is still pretty young. There's a good 2 to 3 years to go, without a doubt, without a flinch. So yeah, good bottle of wine, great value. I think the key here, it's for me, medium body, nice earthiness, silky texture with outstanding value. So if you ask me for a short description, that's where I'm at it. I'm gonna go with. So earthiness, silky tannin, nice complexity for an outstanding value. That's where I lean. 89 plus, right on the verge of the 90 points. Now maybe even bang on the 90 points. That's where, like, between the 89 plus and 90, that's where I sit.
It's a great wine.
It's a fantastic wine for $25.
Yeah,
All in. So $22.
Yeah. Fantastic. Now you gave me some homework for this next one, hey? You
Yes,
want me
I
to read
did.
your tasting notes from 7 a.m. last weekend?
So
Carl
no, that was
sometimes wakes up early to get a head start on his day, and he's got 5-10 wines open at 7 a.m. So, yes.
that was not on Saturday. That was on Friday. You know why I clearly
Yeah.
remember? Because I had 26 more to taste at night.
Oh my God, you're right. That was the Chardonnay day.
It was the Chardonnay day. So yes,
You are
go
insane.
ahead. I'm gonna show this. So this now we're talking about the big boy. This is the Micro Cuvee Pinot Noir from Meyer Family Vineyard. This is McLean Creek Road Vineyard. So this is the home vineyard. When you go up in Okanagan Falls, if you come up from north, going towards Oliver, when you see the sign Okanagan Falls, you turn on 10th Street and you go up. This is McLean Creek Road. And when you get all the way on the top, there's a beautiful vineyard sitting at the base of the mountain. And this has a very, very typical flavor profile. Everything I've tasted from McLean Creek Road has an outstanding level of minerality. It makes sense. It's right on the cliff of the mountain. It's a rock. It's like it's rocky. It's hot. So yeah, minerality, flint, natural sulfur. There's a great deal of old world in there. So this is the brand new release, and it might be even this one might be the pre-release if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. Are we tasting the McLean Creek Pinot Noir or the Micro Cuvee Pinot Noir?
The Micro Cuvee, it's also from the McLean Creek Road vineyard.
Oh, I see. Okay, so, but it's a different block of the vineyard?
It's not the different block. It's the best barrel.
Oh, okay.
So it's the best 10 barrel of all of the McLean Creek Pinot Noir production.
I get it. Okay.
So the first pick. So the one that Jack, the winemaker, and the vineyard manager will select in advance, say this row, and this row will be the top this year. We have the best crop. They're going to do a couple of the premium barrel. They're going to set aside. This is the best barrel of the best barrel.
Yeah, so I was going to say, because the McLean Creek Pinot is already a premium Pinot at $40.
Yeah, that's the one that's the one that they make 500 cases. Here, you're down at 250 cases. So this is the best of the best.
Okay.
Put it that way. And you got and you got the old block. So let's just to explain a little bit the difference here, okay? Because I have the three side by side. Where's the other one? Okay, so let's see that. So here, this is the McLean Creek Road. So this is the 500 bottles that they're gonna make from their home. So it's a single vineyard. This is kind of the flagship type of wine from the winery. This is their most popular here. Okay, this is their more popular at a good price point, $30. Second, you got you can combine these two here. Okay, that's hard. That's hard. How to do that here? Okay. Shoot. Okay, so the Micro Cuvee, it's the best barrel of that single vineyard. And you got also the old block. So from the McLean Creek Road vineyard, there's an old block of 25, 28-year-old vines. So from the home vineyard, there's a small little block where they produce 125 cases from that old block. So this is the 3 different wines from the same vineyard under the same label. Does it help? Maybe to have all of these bottles in my face trying to move them was super helpful.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. No, that totally makes sense. So they're all kind of from the same place, but different ways of making the wine. And then you've got the really old block, which is exciting, as well as these other ones, right? So that's super cool. So you want me to read you your tasting notes from
Friday morning, 5:45 a.m. You go ahead. So
you gave it 93 point. Oh no, this is the McLean Creek. Let's see. So we're looking for the Micro Cuvee.
I think I gave also a 93.
Cream of the crop. You gave it 93 points, 100% Pinot Noir. Another best from one of the best. This is precise and focused with tremendous length and tension all the way to the end. The dark cherries prevail on the palate with the addition of clove and Chinese spice. The savory herbs on the mid palate bring a nice and unexpected dimension. The oak is already well integrated and gives the wine a wonderfully rich and creamy texture. I got that too. This is grippy at the moment, but will soften up and become even better with time. Lay it down for 3 to 5 years. And that's 300 cases produced. You recommended it with charcuterie or short rib. And it's a $65 including tax wine. So where do you sit now compared to a few days ago on that one?
That the grip, I like my wine in his youth. I like them vibrant. I like them full of energy. I'm not the type of guy who like the wine in his backhand. So this is energetic. There's tension in there. It's vibrant. So the grip in the backhand for some people might be a little bit offensive. For me, I like it because it's just like wakes me up, like take all of my sensory experience, like keep me on the edge. It's super fun. There's the cherry at the opening. It's pinpoint. It's precise. There's a minerality which makes everything like super, let's say, not flinty, but it's a little bit like almost there's a salinity in there, even if it's not a Chardonnay. So it's really, really special. You can feel the dirt. You can feel the rocks. It's rocky. The nose
it's like that with their Chardonnays as well. There's like sort of crushed gravel in the nose, right?
There's a beautiful nose also, super refined, super fresh also, and that herby, like a little bit like Provence herb.
Mm-hmm. It's so much fun when a wine is complex like this.
Yeah, there's so much going on. That's why I'm almost like stumbling like in my words, because there's so many different things coming up, and it's
at the end of the day, it's just super enjoyable.
It is, and there's that vanilla also on the top, of everything, who kind of cover the whole thing. So
I get the salinity at the end, like you can lick your lips and there's a bit of saltiness.
this is, I think, like complexity. There's so many things coming after the other. The cherry, a little bit of raspberry, the herbs. It's maybe a little bit of the tobacco, slightly. And yeah, ton of minerality, ton of minerality. So
Beauty.
very, very site precise. It's not the round fruit bomb that you can expect from like the California style Pinot Noir. No. This is not what it is. This is more on the old world. It's great. It's really, and it's refreshing. There's a high, that's another thing we need to mention. There's a high point of acidity. Like, this is not something heavy. It's something fresh, really fresh. Yes, it's a 2019, but I believe that acidity will carry true for years. This is at least a 10 years wine, at least 10 years. I suggest to lay that down for a couple years before even thinking about it, but maybe starting 2023 or something like that. Now the wine will start to get all together. Not to say that the wine is disjuncted right now. It's not. It's well-rounded. The oak oversee everything. It's like the nice blanket on top, and there's no toes sticking out and an arm sticking out on top of the blanket. It's really, really well covered by that oak blanket. So there's that sweeter vanilla cover on top, who makes it a little bit more approachable. You take that off, I would get, it will be too much cranberry probably. Like that cranberry turns into a nice cherry with that vanilla blanket on the top. You take that off, the minerality will almost explode, will be almost too aggressive, too much in your face, will be scratchy. With that, it makes it like super comfortable, but I want everything like to melt together. So 3, 4, 5 years, but this is a 10 years wine. This is something that if you can, you put that down, put a note on, don't touch until 2023 at least, and after that, that will be something special. Now we're talking a $65 wine. So this is not the it can be if you want, but this is not necessarily the Thursday pizza night that like you pull whatever bottle it is. No, this is more than an afterthought. This is something that you plan ahead. Whoop, not this one. That's the old block. So this is the Micro Cuvee. The old block, I would say the difference between this and the old block will be a little bit more depth in the old block. So here you get more precision. You get more. I would say freshness, and in the old block you get the depth, and you got a little bit more ripe fruit than this. So here it's more savory, herbaceous, minerality, and the old block will be like a little bit more on the cassis, on the plum, maybe coffee grind, espresso, something like that, torrefaction. But here you're on freshness, and this is pretty darn cool.
Totally. Well, great work, Carl Boucher. Cheers for an impromptu live.
Cheers. I'm getting a little bit more of the dark chocolate right now, though.
That's a beauty. Yeah. Did you pick anything up for dinner that would pair with this?
Absolutely nothing. I had to run. I got stuck on the Kelowna traffic. You know that bridge? You know that the thing like to help you cross the lake?
There's only one of them.
That's but that thing held me back for at least an hour. So we're not used to that, right? Oh, what are you talking about? 4 o'clock? Who cares? No, I got stuck. So no, I have nothing. But because it's an impromptu, I can zing to T-bones and get us something pretty fun. Because now we have some pretty darn good juice open.
You think charcuterie with this? Do kind of like a snack dinner?
Yeah, that can be it. But also, I would say a thick piece of fish will be good with that type of Pinot.
Really?
Or also, it's very versatile, right? Well, we can also get a piece of lamb or a piece of pork on the grill. We just got a new barbecue. You know, don't have to go all the way down to the lake and start up the pizza oven. No, we don't need to do that. The new barbecue is right there.
Nice. Yeah, this would go nice with lamb. I think you're right.
Yeah. What would be your score on that? Because I gave it a 93. Oh, so I just wanted to mention, why did I give 93 to the McLean Creek Road, the regular one, and I gave 93 to this one, who's the Micro Cuvee, who's the best of the best? Why did I end up with the same score? Because to me, this wine is better. This wine is definitely better. This one has more complexity. This one has more aging potential. I end up with the same score because this one, the McLean Creek Road, the regular McLean Creek Road, is half the price.
Well, it's $40 versus 65, right?
Okay. Well, anyway, it's not half the price, but there's a decent, there's a significant price difference.
Yeah.
So to me, this one at 40 gives me a lot for my money. A lot for my money. So I cranked the score high, a little bit higher than I would have rated it without any price information, knowing that this one is at 40, and the amount of pleasure that he gives me, and the level of quality that I got for 40 bucks brought the score a little higher. Here, this is pretty darn good. At 65, I would say my level of enjoyability, it's pretty much at the same level. Higher quality wine, but higher price. So I end up with the same score. Does it make sense?
Totally makes sense.
Does
I
it?
think so. What do you guys think? I like how you factor in the price. I think it's important.
I think I definitely, we had that conversation on the weekend, right? We went with our friend Rob at Black Market when we retasted all of these Chardonnay, and that's something that Rob was mentioning as well, how important it is to factor the price in score, because at $18 Chardonnay who provides you the same amount of enjoyability than one at $60, but guess what? That little guy deserves a boatload of recognition. So yeah, I think it's important. So that's why I end up with the same score. This is a heck of a wine here, but the price also reflects the amount of enjoyability that I get tasting it, and the amount of quality, because it's a very, like, this is as close as it gets of a nice Burgundy wine. So
good. Well, the children have emerged from the Lego room.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So we better get dinner on. But this has been fun. Thank you, Carl.
Thank you. So I want to say good evening to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your night. For everyone who tuned in, for our friend all the way back east, Toronto, Montreal, all the Atlantic provinces, thanks for tuning in. 6:40 here in West Kelowna. We tasted Meyer Family Vineyard, the Micro Cuvee Pinot Noir, 93 points from this guy here. A beautiful, complex, refreshing, old world, with lots of minerality. 93 points, Carl Wine Club, for the Micro Cuvee Pinot Noir. We have also tasted the Mayhem Merlot Cabernet Franc for a $23, $22 wines. A nice, earthy, a little bit more old world, medium body. So great wine, 89 plus from Carl's Wine Club. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for Wednesday Wine Happy Hour, when I'm going to have the Reserve Merlot from Anarchist Mountain from Mayhem Wines. And I might, depending on the weather, I might crack the Mayhem Rosé as well. We are featuring Meyer Family Vineyard Mayhem Wines on our weekly offer here at Carl's Wine Club. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.